Welcome back to my channel Rare Coins Shop. If you love discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in the right place. In this first video, we'll uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're talking about a very special piece of modern American history, the 2000 US presidential gold $1 coin. You might be thinking, a dollar coin? From 2000? How rare could that possibly be? Well, stick around, because this particular coin is anything but ordinary. In fact, it might just be one of the most valuable $1 coins ever to slip through the hands of the general public. So grab your coin jars, check those drawers, and keep watching, because this golden beauty could be sitting right under your nose. Let's rewind a bit and go back to the year 2000. It was a time of excitement, change, and Y2K paranoia. The new millennium had just begun, and the United States Mint had big plans to modernize the nation's coinage. As part of this effort, the Sacagawea dollar was introduced, a bold, golden-colored coin intended to replace the paper dollar and get people excited about using coins again. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the 2000 versions were the first of their kind. With a stunning golden hue and a depiction of Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, the coin quickly became a standout in the eyes of both the public and collectors. But here's where it gets really interesting. You see, most 2000 Sacagawea dollars were fairly common. Millions were made. But within those millions, a few slipped through the cracks, coins with mistakes, quirks, and rare minting errors that set them apart from the rest. And one specific variant of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar turned out to be an absolute goldmine. This wasn't your average coin. Some of these 2000 dollars were accidentally struck using the obverse of a Washington quarter, creating a unique hybrid that became one of the most sought-after minting mistakes in U.S. coinage history. The detail, the blend of two iconic designs, and the undeniable rarity made this coin a legend. Even without such a dramatic error, there are other factors that can send the value of this coin into the stratosphere. Coins that have never been circulated, that remain in perfect condition, untouched by time or handling, are worth significantly more. Add in a flawless finish, a high mint state grade, and maybe even a little historical buzz, and suddenly, you're not just holding a dollar. You're holding a story, a legacy, a treasure. So what should you be looking for if you think you've got one of these coins? First, the mint mark. That little P for Philadelphia matters. Next, condition. Coins graded MS 67 or higher are incredibly valuable. And of course, if you happen to notice anything unusual, like a double strike, off-center printing, or an incorrect design, you might just have something extremely rare. Collectors all over the world are constantly on the hunt for these unique and flawless examples. Coin shows, auctions, and online markets are buzzing with interest, and the demand continues to grow as fewer of these coins remain in top condition. Some have been found tucked away in rolls or forgotten in collections for years, only to resurface and stun the numismatic community. Now, the big question: how much can one of these coins actually be worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to own one of the finest examples of the 2000 US presidential gold $1 coin, especially one with a rare minting error or an exceptional condition, you're not just holding a piece of American currency. You're holding a treasure that could be worth as much as $85,000. That's right, what once was worth just a dollar, could now be worth more than a brand new luxury car. So next time you're digging through an old coin collection, or even just your change jar, keep your eyes peeled. That little gold-colored coin might just change your life. Second rare coin, we're unraveling the fascinating story behind the 1979 United States $1 coin. It's a coin that nearly every American has seen or handled at some point. But here's the twist: some versions of this coin are far more valuable than you might ever imagine. So stick with me, because what seems like just another old coin might just be your golden ticket. Now, let's set the stage. The year is 1979. Jimmy Carter is president, inflation is climbing, and the U.S. Mint is looking for a change, literally. Up to this point, the large and heavy Eisenhower dollar coin had been in circulation since 1971. It was time for something new. something smaller. Something that would fit comfortably in people's pockets, but still carry the prestige of a $1 denomination. Enter the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the very first U.S. coin to honor a real, historical American woman. The design was groundbreaking. On the obverse, you'll find a powerful portrait of Susan B. Anthony herself, a fierce advocate for women's rights and a key figure in American history. Around her image, the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the mint year, 1979. On the reverse, the coin featured a design borrowed from the Eisenhower dollar, a majestic eagle landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch, symbolizing peace and America's achievements in space. A blend of progress, power, and purpose, all captured in a small, copper-nickel coin. But here's where things start to get really interesting. The Susan B. Anthony dollar didn't quite take off with the public. Its size and color made it almost indistinguishable from a quarter, and it was often mistaken as such. People didn't embrace it, and millions of coins ended up in storage, unused and forgotten. However, not all 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are created equal. Some coins from this first year of issue were struck with unique characteristics, small differences that have turned them into extremely valuable collector's items today. These differences are so subtle that the average person might never notice them. But for collectors, these details mean everything. One of the most famous variations is known as the wide rim or near-date variety. Most 1979 Susan B. Anthony coins have a narrow rim, meaning the space between the edge of the coin and the year is wider. But in some versions, the rim is noticeably thicker, pushing the date closer to the edge. This difference happened early in the minting process before the design was adjusted, and only a small number of these coins made it into circulation. This wide rim variety has become one of the most sought-after coins among modern U.S. coinage collectors. Combine that with a high-grade, uncirculated condition, think coins that have been protected, never handled, no scratches, no blemishes, and you've got something special. Even more rare are the coins that come with minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned prints. These mistakes are like fingerprints. Each one is unique, and because they're so rare, they're incredibly desirable. So how do you know if you have one of these coins? First, take a close look at the date. If the numbers are snug against the rim and the border looks thick and bold, you might have the wide rim variety. Next, check the condition. A coin that's shiny, crisp, and flawless, graded MS 65 or higher by a professional coin service, is a major asset. And finally, look for anything unusual in the lettering or design. That might be a sign of a rare mint error, which can multiply the coin's value many times over. Collectors are constantly searching for the best examples of these coins. Auction houses, online marketplaces, and private dealers have all seen serious action when it comes to the rare $1,979. What was once overlooked as pocket change is now a star in the world of numismatics. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own one of these rare 1979 US $1 coins, especially a wide rim variety in pristine, mint condition, your little piece of change could be worth as much as $50,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single coin that once barely got noticed at the checkout counter could now be worth more than some cars, or even a down payment on a house. So go ahead, check your old coin collection, sift through those dusty drawers, or even take another look at your childhood piggy bank. Because that ordinary-looking dollar coin from 1979 might just be a life-changing treasure. Third expensive coin, we're diving deep into the story of the 2008 U.S. presidential $1 coin honoring the 6th President of the United States, John Quincy Adams. At first glance, it might look like just another commemorative coin in a long series. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find out why this particular coin has collectors scrambling, treasure hunters searching, and experts stunned at how valuable it can actually be. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and get ready to learn how a coin that once sat unnoticed in someone's pocket could now be one of the most valuable dollar coins in modern history. Let's rewind the clock to 2007, when the U.S. Mint launched the presidential $1 coin program. The goal? To honor each U.S. president by featuring their portrait on a golden dollar coin, released in the order they served. Each coin in the series came with a unique design, a striking finish, and, for the first time in U.S. coinage history, lettering along the edge of the coin, including the date, mint mark, and inscriptions like E Pluribus Unum and In God We Trust. By the following year, in 2008, the series had reached its sixth release, celebrating John Quincy Adams, the sixth president and son of founding father John Adams. Known for his intellect, diplomacy, and commitment to justice, John Quincy Adams wasn't just a politician, he was a man of principle who dedicated his post-presidential life to fighting slavery and defending human rights. It's only fitting that he was honored with a coin that's become equally iconic. The 2008 P version of the coin was minted in Philadelphia, and it features a dignified portrait of Adams on the obverse side, with his name, the years of his presidency, and the United States inscription. The reverse side shows the Statue of Liberty in bold detail, a symbol of freedom that echoes the ideals Adams stood for. But what makes this coin so special isn't just the history, it's what happened during the minting process. You see, while millions of these coins were produced, only a small fraction ended up with rare characteristics that skyrocketed their value. Some coins came out with edge lettering errors, missing inscriptions, doubled edge text, or even completely blank edges. Others had die rotation issues or misalignments that turned them into instant collector's gold, and of course, as with all coins, condition is king. A 2008 P. John Quincy Adams dollar coin in poor shape might be worth its face value. But one that's in mint state condition, carefully preserved, with absolutely no scratches or blemishes, especially one with a known mint error, is an entirely different story. Coins with these rare errors and flawless finishes are extremely hard to find. They often come from sealed mint rolls, untouched by human hands, kept safe in private collections or discovered purely by chance. And when one of these ultra-rare coins shows up in the collector's market, let's just say, people take notice. Now here's where it gets even more exciting. There have been a handful of verified 2008 P. John Quincy Adams dollar coins that were discovered with the edge lettering completely missing, a mistake that should have never made it past quality control. These no-edge lettering coins are among the rarest of the presidential dollar series, and when found in pristine condition, they become incredibly desirable. The demand for these rare examples has surged in recent years. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for presidential coins that feature both historical significance and physical rarity. Auction houses have seen bidding wars over these golden beauties, especially for those with authenticated errors and perfect grading. So, the question becomes, how much can one of these coins actually be worth? If you're lucky enough to own a 2008 P. John Quincy Adams presidential $1 coin with a rare mint error, especially in mint state condition, then you're not just holding onto a coin. You're holding onto a piece of American history, a collector's dream, and a stunning investment. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. A flawless 2008 P. John Quincy Adams dollar coin, with a rare error and top-tier grading, could be worth as much as $150,000. Yes, you heard that right. A $1 coin. One that might have been passed around, dropped into a vending machine, or hidden in a drawer for years, could now be worth more than a luxury car, more than a college education, more than some people's entire savings. So what are you waiting for? Check your coin jars. Look through your old bank rolls. That little golden dollar coin you've been overlooking might just be your ticket to an unexpected fortune. Especially, we're diving into the remarkable story of the 2007 U.S. presidential gold $1 coin honoring the fourth President of the United States, James Madison. This isn't just a shiny piece of metal with a face on it. It's a piece of American history, a collector's gem, and for the right person, possibly a six-figure payday. Now before you go rushing to your coin jar, let's slow down and uncover why this particular coin, part of a modern series, has become such a hot topic among numismatists and collectors alike. The presidential $1 coin program kicked off in 2007 with a mission to honor each U.S. president by issuing a $1 coin bearing their likeness, released in order of their service. The series began with George Washington, followed by John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and then, James Madison, the fourth president, also known as the Father of the Constitution. James Madison's contributions to the nation go far beyond his presidency. He was one of the chief architects of the Constitution, a co-author of the Federalist Papers, and a political genius who helped shape the very foundation of the American government. The decision to honor him with a coin wasn't just fitting, it was necessary. The 2007 P version of the coin was minted in Philadelphia, one of the most historically significant cities in America. The obverse of the coin proudly displays a strong, refined portrait of Madison, surrounded by inscriptions of his name, order of presidency, and years of service. On the reverse is the Statue of Liberty, arm outstretched, symbolic of the ideals Madison fought to protect. But what makes this particular coin so intriguing is not just the man it honors or the design it carries, it's the rarity and mystery behind a few very specific variations. Most of the James Madison dollar coins were minted and distributed normally. But as with many mass-produced items, a few very special examples made their way into circulation with unintended errors, unusual finishes, or extremely high-quality strikes that set them apart from the rest. And that's where the real treasure begins. Some of these coins, for example, were released without any edge lettering at all, a major mistake, considering the presidential dollar coins were the first to feature inscriptions like the date, mint mark, and mottos on the edge rather than the face of the coin. Coins missing this lettering are considered extremely rare, especially if they're preserved in mint state condition. There are also examples with misaligned lettering, double strikes, or die rotation errors, where the image is slightly twisted, giving the coin an unusual and highly collectible appearance. These types of minting errors are not only rare but also unique. No two are exactly alike. Condition, as always, plays a critical role. A coin that's been passed around in change, scratched, or worn will never fetch top dollar. But a coin that's been perfectly preserved, untouched, and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS-67 or higher? That's a different story altogether. High-grade error coins from the presidential dollar series are among the most desirable pieces of modern American coinage. They're modern-day rarities that serious collectors chase, and they don't come around often. Every now and then, one will appear in a private collection or surface at an auction, and when they do, the bidding can get intense. So how can you tell if you're holding one of these rare gems? Start by looking closely at the edge of the coin. If you see the usual lettering, date, E pluribus unum, and in God we trust, you've got a standard version. But if the edge is smooth, blank, or shows strange variations in spacing or repetition, you might just be onto something special. Then check the surface. Does it look flawless? Is there a brilliant shine and a crispness to the detail? If so, you could have a high-grade specimen. Pair that with a minting error or variety, and you've got something collectors would go to great lengths to add to their collections. These coins don't just tell a story about America's past, they write new chapters in the world of modern numismatics. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you happen to own a 2007 P. James Madison presidential $1 coin, especially one that features a rare mint error, and it's been professionally graded at a high mint state level, it could be worth as much as $199,000. Yes, you heard that right. What started out as a simple tribute to America's fourth president has become one of the most valuable modern coins in circulation. So take a second look at your collection, or that roll of dollar coins you've kept in a drawer. You never know what hidden treasure you might already own. Now, we're diving into the story of the 2009 P presidential $1 coin that features the face of the 12th President of the United States, Zachary Taylor. At first glance, it might seem like just another collectible from the U.S. Mint's presidential dollar series, but trust me, this coin has a story to tell, and its value could surprise even the most seasoned collector. Let's rewind a bit. In 2007, the United States Mint launched one of the most ambitious modern coin programs in American history, the Presidential $1 Coin Program. The idea was to honor every deceased U.S. president with a golden-colored dollar coin, issued in the order in which they served. These coins were minted with a fresh new design approach, including edge lettering, a feature not seen on U.S. coins in generations. By 2009, the series had reached its 12th release, honoring Zachary Taylor, a man known more for his role as a war hero than for his short time as president. Taylor served as the 12th President of the United States from March 1849 until his untimely death in July 1850, barely 16 months in office. But though his time in the White House was brief, his legacy was strong enough to earn him a place in this prestigious coin series. Now let's talk about the coin itself. The 2009 P. Zachary Taylor dollar was minted in Philadelphia. On the obverse, we see a dignified portrait of Taylor, along with inscriptions that include his name, the order of his presidency, and his term dates. On the reverse, as with all coins in the series, is the Statue of Liberty, bold, majestic, and instantly recognizable. At a glance, the coin seems fairly standard. But here's where the real story begins. As with many coins in the presidential series, not all were created equal. While millions were minted, only a few made it out into the world with the kinds of errors and rare features that collectors dream about. Some coins were struck with missing edge lettering, a striking mistake when you consider that the date, mint mark, and mottos were meant to be etched into the side of each coin. Others had partial inscriptions, misaligned letters, or even double-struck edges, and then there's condition, arguably the most important factor of all. Most coins, once in circulation, get scratched, worn down, or damaged. But coins that somehow stayed pristine, untouched, and perfectly preserved in mint state condition, especially those graded MS 67 or higher, can fetch staggering sums of money. Now here's something even more fascinating. Some Zachary Taylor dollar coins made it into circulation with both an error and near-perfect preservation. These combinations are incredibly rare. Imagine a coin with a completely smooth edge, no lettering at all, but with a flawless golden surface that looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday. That's the kind of coin that grabs headlines and stuns auction rooms. Even fewer of these coins have made it into the hands of everyday collectors, which is what makes the hunt so exciting. You never know, yours could be sitting in a forgotten drawer, a roll of coins from the bank, or even in your change from the store. So what should you look for? First, check for that Philadelphia mint mark, a tiny P near the edge. Then examine the edge lettering. Is it missing? Is it faint? Is it oddly placed or duplicated? Finally, look at the coin's condition. If it's bright, crisp, and seemingly flawless, that's a strong sign you might be holding something special. Coin experts, grading services, and serious collectors have spent years analyzing presidential dollars, and the demand for the rarest, best preserved examples is only going up. Whether it's because of their historical value, design uniqueness, or sheer rarity, these coins are gaining traction in the numismatic world like never before, and that brings us to the moment we've all been waiting for. If you happen to own a 2009 P. Zachary Taylor presidential $1 coin, especially one with a rare minting error like missing edge lettering, and it's been graded in high mint state condition, then your coin could be worth as much as $167,000, yes. You heard that right. A single dollar coin that most people barely notice could be worth more than some people's entire annual salary. That's the magic of coin collecting: real stories, real history, and real money. So take a second look at your collection. You never know what you might find hiding in plain sight. And if you've got a 2009 Zachary Taylor dollar in your hands, it might be time to have it professionally checked. You could be sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Last unique coin, we're about to take a closer look at the 2009 D presidential $1 coin featuring the 9th President of the United States, William Henry Harrison. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end, because this little coin could be worth far more than you think. Let's rewind to the origins of this coin. In 2007, the United States Mint launched the presidential $1 coin program, aiming to honor every deceased U.S. president with a specially designed $1 coin. The coins were released in the order the presidents served, 4 per year. Each came with a bold portrait on the front and the Statue of Liberty on the reverse. These coins also introduced something unique: edge lettering, where the year, mint mark, and mottos like E pluribus unum were inscribed along the side instead of on the face. By 2009, the 9th coin in the series was released, honoring a president whose time in office was as dramatic as it was brief: William Henry Harrison, the man known for having the shortest presidency in American history. Elected in 1840, Harrison delivered the longest inaugural speech in history on a cold, rainy day without wearing a coat or hat. A month later, he died of pneumonia, making his term only 31 days long. While his time as president was short, his legacy, both as a war hero and a symbol of political change, earned him a spot in this iconic coin series. The 2009 D version of the coin was minted in Denver, and it features a strong portrait of Harrison on the obverse side. On the reverse, as with all presidential dollars, is the powerful image of the Statue of Liberty. Around the rim, if all went according to plan, you'd find the edge lettering that includes the mint mark, the year, and our national mottos. But here's where it gets interesting: while the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins, not all of them were perfect. In fact, a small number of 2009 D. William Henry Harrison dollar coins were released with serious minting errors, and it's these errors that make the coin incredibly valuable today. Some of the most notable issues included missing edge lettering, which is a major minting mistake. A coin that was supposed to have critical information along the edge instead came out completely smooth. Others had partial inscriptions, or even edge lettering that was upside down or doubled. And in even rarer cases, some coins had off-center strikes or rotation errors that made them completely unique. And as any collector will tell you, rarity plus condition equals value. You see, it's not just about the error, it's about how well the coin has been preserved. Most coins pass through many hands, collecting nicks, scratches, and signs of wear. But those that were discovered early and kept in pristine condition, graded as MS 67 or higher, are the ones that turn into valuable collector's items. Combine a rare mint error with a high-grade condition, and now you've got something that's no longer just currency, it's an investment. What's even more thrilling is that some of these ultra-rare Harrison dollar coins were never meant to be discovered. They slipped past the mint's inspection and entered circulation completely by accident. And that means one thing: they're still out there. Hidden in rolls of coins. Sitting in personal collections. Waiting to be rediscovered. So, how do you know if you've got one? First, flip your coin and check the mint mark. You want to see that little D for Denver. Next, take a close look at the edge. Is the lettering missing? Is it off-center, upside down, or barely visible? That's your first clue. Then, check the surface of the coin. If it's shiny, flawless, and shows no sign of wear, that could mean it's been preserved in near-perfect condition, something collectors prize more than anything. These rare coins don't just represent a moment in history. They represent a chance that your ordinary-looking dollar might actually be extraordinary. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. If you're lucky enough to own a 2009 D. William Henry Harrison presidential $1 coin, especially one with a rare minting error like missing edge lettering, and it's been graded in exceptional condition, then your coin could be worth as much as $160,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single dollar coin, from your change, your collection, or a forgotten drawer, could be worth more than the average person makes in 2 years. It's real, and it's happening more often than you'd think. So don't overlook that shiny dollar coin again. Check your collection. Go through those bank rolls. You never know, you might just be holding a fortune. If you loved learning about this rare and valuable coin, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another discovery. We've got more hidden gems, coin secrets, and stories of fortune coming your way. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin be the one that changes everything.